I'd like to call to order the Municipal Services Standing Committee at, what is it, 7:20, I guess I'm reading that clock right now.
7:23.
7:23. 7:23, thank you. And I'm going to hand the chair over to Councillor Benwell.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Here we go, looking at the agenda, Deputy Mayor called the meeting to order, and so we need to move the agenda to adopt it.
I move that the agenda be adopted as amended to add everything to the administration.
You get a second? Perfect. Any discussion on that? Go ahead.
Just one item I'd like to add under item F, other business, brief discussion on trucked water services.
Anything else? Anybody? Okay, all in favor?
Do we have to ask if they're open to that amendment?
It's accept the amendment, but like,
Okay, I move that the agenda be adopted as amended to add a briefing note to E administration, and then also F, under other business, truck water services.
approved by your secretary was.
Yeah.
No.
All in favor? Passed. Thank you. Now, can I get a move for the minutes?
I move that the minutes from the Municipal Services Standing Committee meeting on May 13, 2025 be adopted as presented.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? No? Okay. All in favor? Visions and missions, you all had a chance to look at that. Declaration of financial interest. Okay. No delegation. So we're going to D, the direct report.
I'd like to ask Director Renier to mention any highlights, help with his report, and if there's any highlights he wanted to bring up.
No, I did include, I'm also going to share this quick thing about the grader being rebuilt, which is pretty exciting. This, I get a weekly meeting, I can give you updates, I'm going to actually have nice pictures that are coming where it's torn down quite a bit more. This is a pretty exciting process. As this is a new thing we do this twice over, we want the information for free in the city, which comes back so great. So this is very exciting stuff. I'm going to miss it. Jump in the grader back. I'll never experience the new grader. It's also saved us a lot of the headaches that come with things like this. So the cab will be all updated on that. Fantastic thing, and I thought I'll start providing these through this whole process, just so you guys can see all of it get torn down, torn up, put back together. Another thing I'd like to mention is in my capital projects part, the old chip demolition, it says unofficially approved, actually not that funding, so that funding has been officially approved. We do have it, just of course, about the tender out. That's pretty awesome. The pool, I'll give you some information on that came to me of that today. We're having major issues finding this valve. It's the last thing pulling us up, so I've made the decision that I'm going to be the contractor there tomorrow morning. We're going to install the pump with the piping out there. switch ready for the installation of that valve, but we won't install that valve until the next annual pool shutdown. So this way we can get water in the pool and actually get this pool open. It's been such a headache dealing with the contractor with the supplier over this regularly open valve. If it's itself, I feel like we should just move past it. But we'll still have the valve come in and actually have it in hand before the next pool shutdown. And so hopefully tomorrow we start doing that and we're looking for water in the pool.
Are there any risks to running it without the valve?
We've mitigated those risks up until this time. We can mitigate them for another year. It's the power fails, right? When the power goes out, the risk of the basement flooding, we can have people in place that can handle it. We can handle that risk for with trainers coming in, with staff that we can train. And again, this has gone way farther past than it's supposed to.
The reason for the original closure was the air handling system, not the valve. So with the recent power bumps we've had, if we get into action again, are we going to risk losing our air handling system again?
The air handling unit parts haven't even arrived yet, so we're still running it manually as it is. They're still on back order. But we can run manually in the summer. Hopefully those arrive for winter, but we still.
So the summer heat windows open is better than
Okay. On or off.
okay. Sounds tough.
With the greater rebuild, do we have an anticipated extension of its life expectancy?
Yeah, we should be able to get the exact years, around 20 years, 20 plus years. It'll be coming back just like brand new, and it comes with a 5-year like new warranty. Travel. It's actually a better warranty than when you purchase the new equipment. I'm not good. Funny.
Okay, crosswalk lights. So this is 2 of them, one like right in front of the hospital where there's like kind of
Correct.
crossway right there, and then King Street and McDougal, so like right in front of GNWTHR or like the Barrows building.
Correct.
That's a rough one. Awesome. Yeah, and definitely the pool. I know everyone's gonna be very excited about when that goes out. Yeah. Thank you.
Good question.
Anybody else? Have anything?
Other than, Andrew, I know you guys have worked hard on the pool, and I know the night's news is exciting that you don't have your valve and we don't have, but you're gonna get it open, so I think we can all say to you, well done. And you just keep doing what you're doing, and keep it going, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to administration.
Thank you very much, Chair. So we had issued in early May an invitational RFP for water license renewal for consultant services to help us get this ready. It's a really tight timeline. Our water license is set to expire at the end of October 2026. And Mackenzie Valley Land Water Board requires the application to be in by October 3rd, 2025. So am I not on the right one?
No, I think
No.
we're doing
No, I'm
that
absolutely
after.
not. Sorry.
You should be talking about the
Camille's
half.
looking at Councillor Keiser.
You should be looking at the half, don't need a motion before you present anything. On the half.
Sorry. I'm on board.
I move that council approve the implementation of Initiative 3, Single Detached Home Incentive under the Housing Accelerator Fund, HAF, as recommended by the HAF Committee, and direct administration to proceed with the program rollout, including publication of the associated program guidelines and communication materials.
Skinner?
want to get some clarification on what the communication materials or protocol is, because a lot of people are still asking me like about the thing. Is it up to them to just go find it on the website, or are we doing any sort of other promotion over and above that?
It has been a soft launch. We're doing a lot of promotion. There's actually, the website presence will be enhanced. There'll be more Facebook posts. We're actually doing a mail out this week or next week. We're actually doing a mail out. So it's a soft launch now. We're getting it up there. We're testing it out, making sure the applications work. Word of mouth in it for now, hopefully through this. But also, yeah, no, we're going to continue to promote it. It's just a matter of capacity and doing it off everybody's side of their desk right now. We still do not have a coordinator hired. We have reposted, shared it out. I've directly went up to people and said, are you interested? I've taken them out for wings even to try to get them interested. So without a coordinator in place yet, then it's falling on the team to manage this as well.
Quick follow-up. The mail out that you're planning is going to talk about all three initiative phases to date?
Yes, if this, which, no, well, if this, we have to wait till this is approved.
Yeah.
So the mail out won't happen until after next Tuesday.
Councillor Cox. Councillor Cox, do you have something?
Thanks. Yeah, I think it looks good. I'm assuming it'll come out in policy, but yeah, I tried looking up some information about the Enter Guide standards, and I wasn't having much luck trying to figure out what standards there are and which ones would be applicable. So I'll be nice to see some of that clarified in the policy.
Anybody else? Anything else to add? Comment? Okay, all in favor? Award contract, water license renewal application.
Read that one in.
Okay.
I move that council approve the award of contract for the consultant services related to the town's water licensing renewal application to AECom in the amount of $156,407 plus GST to be funded through the town's community public infrastructure CPI allocation.
Okay, can we get a second for that? Discussion? Comment?
Does everybody understand what a water license renewal is? I was asked to review it, but Al stepped in for me, or stepped in and I didn't have to, so I assume you're well briefed on it now.
That's a big assumption.
Okay. But what does this get us, Tracy, just so that everybody around the table knows what we're about to approve?
We require this is both for our sewer and our water plant. This is so that we can actually utilize water directly out of the aquifer or the river.
Okay.
And this is what everybody requires in order to be able to run our water system. Can we do a better job than I can?
Yeah, so we need this license in order to access water from the river and also put water back into the river through our sewer treatment facility. There's many pieces of this, I think, wants many different reporting requirements. This is a 15-year water license renewal, so this actually is the whole entirety of the license. There's all communities need this to deal with the net deal and water board. This is all legislated and required. We also have annual reporting and annual deals to do. This is a big renewal that happens every 15 years.
Chair. Just thank you for that. I just want it on the record so even people watching this understand what we're about to approve, because for some people, what's the water license? It's basically no water, no sewer. If we don't get it.
Yes.
Very important. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. All in favor?
Let's get that license.
Okay, other business, truck water service.
Is there a motion to start that, or just a discussion?
What's your comment?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just asked for a brief discussion on this. I believe we've all received at least one email regarding changes to the trucked water services, primarily to the Bell Rock residents, but I am assuming this impacts any resident receiving trucked water from the town. And it's in part bringing us in line with bylaw 705, which is fine and dandy. We do have bylaws in place. The concern I have is that this is an antiquated bylaw, which was last updated in 2004. As we're all aware, there's been significant changes socially, economically, environmentally, and that through the upcoming bylaw review, I would surmise there will be changes to the bylaw. Historically, since I've lived out in Bell Rock and I moved out there in 1995, if somebody set up a secondary tank in the summertime for additional water back in those days, it was strictly for gardening. Nowadays, many of us have an additional water tank there to support sprinkler systems for potential wildfire protection, encouraged by the town to set up wildfire and fire smarting protection. And then we heard through the grapevine last week that town was applying the provisions of the bylaw, which basically state that only one tank per residence could be filled. Rather short notice. It does have several of the residents concerned about water capacity for any potential wildfire situation. And many of the residents out there have been encouraged through both town and GNWT policies to entertain agricultural endeavors, and not having water or access to a quantity of water does put those plans in jeopardy. I know one of the residents was informed that services are available through a private contractor, which is fine, but there is a significant cost to that, and as somebody involved in agriculture, to be able to incorporate that into the cost of what I'd be selling stuff is, I would basically have to double the price of all my produce offered at the farmer's market. So there is significant impacts to this, and I would just like to suggest that until we know what the updated bylaw would be, is that we may consider looking at alternatives. If there's operational issues, which currently there is with the water truck, talk to the residents, say like, look, we can only fill your secondary tank every other week or something like that. But to be able to have that additional water access would really, I think, alleviate a lot of the concerns of the residents in Belmont and other people involved in the agriculture industry. I've been contacted by several people about this.
Am I going to ask a question for the chair? I'm just wondering how Harry sued him.
No. And in the public of the river.
He did? Oh. Thank you. Any comments, questions?
Thanks. Yeah, I've been talking to some people as well. Yeah, I think it's certainly unfortunate timing for everybody getting their gardens in, but completely understandable if there's logistical limits. I know it takes a long time for the truck to go back and forth to town, and we're at or near capacity. I know some people have inquired as to what private contractors there might be, and they weren't having much luck finding somebody. So I would say if we are gonna limit access, we should at least get people in contact with, or let people know what other providers can provide a reliable service and safe drinking water as well, because presumably if they're paying for a private contractor to come out, they would do everything. And on that, if we are at capacity of being able to provide water, do we put an exclusion on the HAP funding that we can't put any funding in Bell Rock? Because if we can't support the water out there, then should we be giving people incentives to build more houses out there? So, just my thoughts.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Cox. SAO?
There's a couple points there that were brought up, Chair. One, I heard you about the HAP funding, and I think the response to that would be that we look at CHIP funding to increase our capacity. So there is a long-term solution we can look at, or we can at least look towards increasing our capacity down the road. There is also the option for to have the fob system to be able to actually come in and fill up their own water tanks as well. So there are a few options, but we could definitely also provide a list of who is available for private contracting.
Yeah, so if I'm then from reading the emails and hearing Councillor Brecht speak, so I think people are just, I think the speed on which the decision was made to stop filling the secondary tank, there are a lot of issues with, is that correct? And I totally can understand that, being out in Bell Rock, there was a lot of forests out there, they did not exactly do a bunch of fire smithing with the even though, good fire breaks are around, and lots of food growth. So I will certainly be unhappy to pay double for the vegetables, I'm not gonna lie. But it's understandable. So we're just here discussing this topic, right? Is that correct? Yeah, okay, we're not making a decision at all.
I just wanted to see if our director had anything we wanted to add to the discussion.
Yeah, just with the timing of this being released came with the timing of the request, so it's not, you don't ask for these things to be filled in the winter. Last year in the fall time, there was some conversation around this, but it didn't go anywhere until, of course, because it came on. Get our time away from it. This year became a real concern with the expanding requests for homes, so we have to get water to each home first. It became a real presence in the operation. That's to overtime costs. So the truck driver's not being able to finish it on time. And this cost the organization, this is unbudgeted. And the request from the department as well, having the one driver. So again, with the long-term solution, there is long-term solutions, but in the short term, this was something that needed to be addressed. And there are contractors now, new than it wasn't before. There are multiple contractors in this community that facilitate this. Salt River themselves. Do that later. Also, bring a water truck and a sewer truck to the way. So there is options coming to the table, as well as already options out there. And we do have a flop system at SCO State where you can come and fill yourself up 24 hours a day. There's complete access for that. I think it's a $50 deposit for the flop. It would be just to your account and your account rates. I feel like before, yes, definitely that was a service that was to the discretion of the water department and was provided, but now with, again, expansion and other service requests increasing, it's just hard to maintain that level of
Yeah, this is an interesting one, I feel like Solomon there listening to the debate, but I get where the Bell Rock people are coming from, and it was short notice, fire season, garden season, all that, I think we could have done a better job as a town on that end, and not sort of telling the first person who asked the tank to be filled to know that we should have had a better lead on that. I put that on administration to help us figure out how to do that better in the future, and we're not surprising people at their tank. Equally, I get where you're coming from. If we have houses that have to be serviced, we have to service. So you're sitting there like, what it is, it was bad communications. We didn't get out ahead of it. We didn't tell them ahead. Now they're hearing about it, and that's never a good place to be. So I would say to you, Andrew, in the future, if we got stuff coming down the pipe like that, give the SEO heads up, or if we can, like, we should have talked about this in December, maybe a decision in February, and we could have rolled it out before we got that first request, and we said, no, we decided not to do it. We might have been able to get ahead of it a bit. But we're here now. I would say you're doing the best you can to get everybody service, so keep doing that. And we look at the long-term solutions. I think that's really all we're left with, and I read that right now.
So how many residents have the secondary tank out there? Do we know?
It's not only Bell Rock, so
Yeah.
we're not gonna pick on Bell Rock, it is actually a lot of our customers
Oh, I see.
all have secondary tanks, or
Okay.
have started getting secondary tanks. There was no way to anticipate the actual increase in requests that actually came this year, so
Yeah.
that was also hard to get ahead of. And then another thing was the summer water line goes in, which kind of offsets this for the winter, but it didn't help, it didn't slow down the increase. Again, because probably what the fire environment we've been in the last couple of years, so people are actually actioning that. So there was no way to anticipate that, and then when it came in hot, and we had to answer it.
So what we're telling them about using the fob system is buy a tank, buy a trailer, buy a truck that can pull a trailer full of water. All of that's on the user. Because there's no way you're getting a tub of water from here up to Bell Rock or up to there to town. You gotta have all that kit to move it, right? So we have to recognize we're saying to them, you can say the fob, I got the fob. I got a Chevy Corolla, I'm supposed to take my water out with that kind of thing. Like, we are putting an onus on them to upgrade their own services. And if we don't respect that a bit, that's where you're gonna get pushback. They're gonna be like, well, hey, I don't have that equipment. That's gonna be a few $1,000 for the equipment, at least a double axle trailer to haul water.
5,000.
So that's why I'm trying, it's both sides, and I think if you keep doing what you're doing and servicing the community as best you can, that's what we have to ask for. And then we can need people to figure out what we're gonna do to take care of their issues. I don't know what else to say.
And then there's also the cross-contamination issue where not all the tanks are set up properly and been inspected properly and are maintained properly, which does put community as well as our truck water at risk for health and safety. So I didn't want to bring that forward, so.
Okay. Is that your discussion?
on that? Anybody? Okay, thank you. Good to know. Moving on to item G, using the counselors.
I move that Councillor Bates and Mayor Ferguson be excused from the Municipal Services Standing Committee of June 10th, 2025. Excuse me.
Thank you. Can you get a seconder, please? All in favor? The next Municipal Service Standing Committee meeting will be July 15th, right after our get a mover to adjourn.
I move we adjourn at 7:53.
All in favor? Thank you.
Yeah.